What do you think I mean when I say a statement of the problem? What do you think the problem what do I when I mean when I say problem, what do you think that is?
Yeah, the problem that you were looking to resolve, the opportunity. It's an opportunity. If you want to look at it this way, like it's like a statement of purpose of the problem. What is your purpose of trying to resolve the problem?
Okay, a better way of looking at it is talking about what's wrong. Because that's
Okay.
what the statement of the problem does. It talks about what is wrong and the solutions that you plan to use in order to solve it. But I like your response though. But at the end of the day, a statement of problems is talking about what's wrong. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now do me a favor and read that first paragraph.
Yeah. So what is your statement of the problem? So your statement of the problem is your need represents the reason behind your proposal. It specifies the condition you wish to change, and it should include the below following.
So some of the things you want to be able to, and you're gonna get this to look at all the things, but some of the things you want to be able to show is to convey a positive narrative about the problem. You want to be able to establish the importance and significance of the problem without making it seem so gloomy that the problem can't be solved. You want to demonstrate how your problem is feasible and manageable. That is, if you say it's a problem, you need to say that it's a problem, but this is how we can manage it, and this is how we can solve it. You need to indicate how the problem relates to your organizational goals. You need to demonstrate your need for your methodology on the activities that you plan to do. There are two types of research that I want you to remember, because throughout the remaining lessons forward, we're going to always talk about these two things. One is called qualitative research, and the other is called quantitative research. Have you ever heard of either of those researches?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what your understanding of qualitative research is.
Qualitative research is more like uh, the writing side of it. There's no numbers into them. Yeah.
Good, good. You're getting there. You're getting. Quantitative research deal with the percent of something. Quantitative research also deals with the why. So it
Okay.
takes both of those classes. What we're gonna get really deep into those quantitative and qualitative questions later on. Now, on the other hand, quantitative research is based on subjective perspective, like a focus group, uh, an interview, a survey, when you're actually testing the very people that are suffering from the problem to get their perspective on what the problem is. That makes sense?
Yes.
Excellent. Let's continue. Okay, so read what they say quantitative research is.
Yes. So quantitative research is research involving the use of structured question where the response option have been predetermined and a large numbers of respondents is involved.
Okay, what is qualitative research?
Yes, qualitative research is collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data by observing what people do and say, whereas quantitative research refers to count and measures of things. Qualitative research refers to the meaning, concepts, definition, characteristics, metaphors, symbols, and description of things.
So, as you see, there is a clear definition related to these two types. So, go and read the last paragraph.
Yes, yeah, qualitative research is much more subjective than quantitative research. It uses very different method of collecting information, mainly individual in-depth interviews and focus groups. The nature of this group of this type of research is exploratory and open-ended. Small numbers of people are interviewed in depth, and or relatively small numbers of focus group are conducted. Basically, quantitative research is objective, qualitative research is subjective.
Read that one more time.
Yeah, basically, quantitative research is objective and qualitative research is subjective.
It's going to be part of your life as a grant writer to know there are two basic types of research, no matter what you do. And that's quantitative or qualitative research. Some of the things that we're going to be doing as we move forward in class is that you're going to be putting together surveys, mock surveys, focus groups, and all that stuff to collect the information when we start to put together the different forms and everything as part of the class assignment. Okay, let's continue. All right, read this for me.
Oh, yes. So what is the need for the project? So you have to be able to explain so the need of the project is to explain how the community needs ties into the grant program's purpose.
How can we do this?
Yeah, you can use most we say like statistic, you can utilize census.gov, American Fact Finder, local government data sources, reports and plan. Community assessment, you can use Google, studies, and other question, what, when, why, how, and where.
Let me stop you right there, just to emphasize that there are so many different ways that we can collect the research that we need. The next section of this class is going to go to some sites, just to go to a quick glance at what those sites look at. And then next week, we'll get even more in depth into this section called evaluation, because the collection of data becomes a key component to any grant. It tells a story that you know exactly what's going on. You know what people are saying about it. You know what people are doing about it. Continue on.
Yes, you get to compare target areas to region and nation.
Okay, let's just stop right there. And this is important because when you're going for that money, you want to show your area compared to the region and the nation to make an argument that the area that you're in and the area that you're doing is worse than those other types of areas. Continue.
Yeah, you want to demonstrate through facts, and also you want to avoid any jargon and rhetoric.
Jargons and rhetoric is a no-no. And the way you demonstrate the facts is that you either use census data, local government, Google, etc. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, let's break down the questions you need to ask to put together a strong needs statement.
Yes, you have to ask who is affected, what is happening, what does the situation take place, why is it a problem, what else can you tell us about the situation, who else thinks it is a problem, what are the underlying causes, and what are the effects of this problem. How long does the statement have to be?
The need statement?
Yes.
When you write a grant, they will always tell you. They might say, for example, 50 words, or they might say 2 pages long.
Okay.
You're hoping that you get as much as you can, because the more beefier your need statement looks, the more you demonstrate how bad the money is needed.
Okay.
So it can go anywhere from a paragraph or 2 to a page or 2. I always do at least a page.
Thank you.
Okay, good. But all of these questions have to be answered when you look at your need statement. You have to make sure you address all of these. Who's affected? What is happening? Where does it take place? Why is it a problem? A lot of people talk about what's going on, but they don't talk about the why the problem is. That's why you do your quantitative and qualitative research, to make a knowledgeable statement about why it exists. Okay, read a couple more.
Yeah, in your need statement, you need accurate picture. You want to be able to convince reviewers. and speak about the urgent of the problem, to build a strong case. And you also want to use the most important facts and stats. You also want to use verifiable local data and facts about the target population.
And how do we do this type of research? What are the two types of tools that we use to do this type of research?
Yeah, you want to use important facts and statistics.
No, what's the words we use? The two types.
Oh yeah, quantitative and qualitative.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm going throughout. By 2 weeks from now, I'll still be saying the same thing when it comes to research. Just to bring home the two types.
Okay.
And how we gather the data that talks about the most important facts. Okay, so it should be coming from a credible source, and that's why we're going to talk about what a credible source. For example, if you came to me and you say, Mike, we want to do a grant to build a building, and we got our advice from an alcohol on the corner, right? That's mentally challenged. Well, that's not credible sources, right? Unless you can show that person had a background in what you was doing. But generally speaking, that's not credible. So you want to make sure that it's credible. Tell me the difference between hard and soft data.
Yeah, so soft data, I guess. So like it's like it's really like
No, it's here right in front of you.
Yeah, so use hard and soft data. So those are like stats, facts, stories, and anecdotal information.
Good. So hard data is statistics and facts. Soft data is stories and anecdotal information. Okay, it's important that you know the terminology. So when you're talking to someone, you say, well, based on the hard data, this is what we believe the case is, along with the soft data. And you use those like terminology when you're talking to these people, so these people know you know what you know. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so this is a repeat of basically what we went over, but it's a language. This is a different language. So at your leisure, I want you to look at this when you get this presentation. We don't have to go through this tonight because it repeats exactly what we talked about. But I always try to show what we talked about it from different perspectives. One person put it this way and another person put it that way, so you can have your own unique way of putting it your way. Okay, what is a need statement? Read that for me.
Yeah, so the need you need to address must be clearly related to your nonprofit mission and purpose.
Why is this important? If you cannot backtrack your problem to your mission and your purpose, it's not going to go. That's why we started the program with identifying what a mission and a purpose statement is. Because the problem statement has to go back to the mission and the purpose. Excellent. Next.
Yes. So the need statement should focus on those people you serve rather than your organization needs.
That means don't write me money saying that our organization would really do better if we had a clerk. I don't care about your organization needs. On the other hand, if he's saying that we need a clerk in order to provide the service necessary to bring about the positive change that we're trying to bring about. So when you always don't talk about your organizationally, talk about the resources you need to bring about your purpose. That makes sense?
Yes.
You'll be surprised at how many new writers, grant writers, start with their organizational needs. And they forget about the reason why they're writing the grant. Okay.
Yeah, so the statement should be well supported with evidence and such as statistical facts, expert views, and trends.
I can't overemphasize that you have to be data driven and evidence based. As a grant writer or this as a storyteller. That is that you have to provide the evidence, and the evidence is based on expert views, trends, and things of that nature. Okay, now I'm going to give you this right here. I want you to look at this here when you get this video.
Okay.
This slide, the next slide, is going to talk about a program that is trying to fight cancer. When you look at this, I want you to be able to tell me what how does it relate to the different components of that need statement. Remember we talk about that need state. What I'll do, I'll ask you the question, but I want you to get the answers from this right here. So I'm gonna pose it as your first test related to the need statement.
Okay.
And that's the second part of it, but you'll get, I want you to read both of those slides and then answer the question on that I send you in order to get a clear understanding.
Okay.
Okay, so we can come out of this. Before we come out of here,